Did the economic blackout actually matter? Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to my channel. This is one of many videos I'm going to be posting here where we're going to be discussing politics, current events, and how decisions being made in Washington are going to impact your life and the lives of your loved ones. All right, let's talk about this economic blackout that happened on February 29th, 2025. A one-day boycott of corporate America that went viral on social media. The idea? Don't spend money at major corporations for 24 hours to send a message about consumer power and economic resistance. But small businesses were exempt. Now that the day has passed, a lot of people are asking, did it actually do anything? Was it worth it? And most importantly, what's next? I have thoughts, but before we dive into that, let's break down what happened, how people reacted, and why the way that we talk about activism matters just as much as the activism itself. So if you were blissfully unplugged, here's what you missed. In the weeks leading up to February 29th, posts about an economic blackout started circulating everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, your family group chat, you name it. And the message was simple. For one day, don't spend a single dollar at major corporations. The goal was to show that if enough people participate, we can make a financial dent in these massive businesses and corporations and prove the power of collective economic action. The event was promoted by the People's Union USA, an organization that, let's be honest, not a lot of us have heard of before this. Now, almost as soon as it took off, the backlash started rolling in. And look, I get it. A one-day boycott of massive corporations. Some people felt like it was a drop in the ocean, a symbolic gesture with no real impact, no real teeth. One of the main critiques that I saw was that one day won't hurt these companies. Amazon, Walmart, McDonald's, they don't care about missing a single day's worth of revenue. This isn't real organizing. It lacks structure, clear demands, and a substantive strategy beyond don't buy anything. The guy behind it didn't know what he was doing. And really, people started digging into the People's Union USA and found some questionable things, which I'll get into in a second. But let me be clear. I'm not saying these critiques are wrong. In fact, I think some of them are really valid. But the way they were thrown out there, the sheer number of people ripping this to shreds immediately instead of asking, okay, how do we build on this? That's really what I want to talk about. Here's the thing. When something like this goes viral, you have two choices. You can either A, dunk on it immediately and call it useless, or B, acknowledge the flaws while finding ways to turn that energy into something more effective. Because guess what? Millions of people engaged with this boycott. That's millions of people actively thinking about how corporate greed and economic activism and how their money is being used. And if we just write them off because their first step wasn't perfect, we're really losing an opportunity to build something bigger and better. And that's where I think we have to be careful about how we talk to each other. If you've been involved in organizing for a while, it's easy to be cynical. But when new people start paying attention, the goal shouldn't be to shut them down. It should be to guide them towards something stronger. Now let's talk about the People's Union USA, the group behind all this. If you go to their frequently asked questions page, you'll actually find some decent ideas. They mention week-long targeted boycotts of corporations like Amazon and Walmart. They acknowledge that longer-term efforts are more effective, and that's good. More sustained, targeted boycotts have worked in the past. Think about the Montgomery bus boycott or the Nestle boycotts in the 70s. But then if you do a deep dive, there are a couple of red flags. There's a command center on their website, which is an exclusive members-only section where people supposedly get early access to movements before they go public. Why? The founder is raising unlimited funds for organization. But when you look at the breakdown of where the money's going, it's not very transparent. This is where skepticism, in my opinion, is completely justified. Transparency in organizing matters, especially when money is involved. Things can get murky pretty quickly. So, what do we do with all this? If you are excited about the economic blackout, I think it's important to keep that energy. But instead of just one-day boycotts, let's focus on sustained action. Support longer, targeted boycotts with clear goals and put some real pressure on these corporations. If you are skeptical, That's fair. But next time, instead of immediately shutting something down, I think it can be more beneficial to ask, how can we take this energy and make it more effective? Because dismissing people doesn't build movements. Here's what I think we should be pushing for next. 1, sustained boycotts, a week, a month, even longer. It creates some sacrifices, but that's what a boycott is. 2, more education on economic activism, because the more that people understand how these systems work, the more strategic we can be. 3, better organizing spaces that are more transparent, accountable, and actually led by communities that are affected. A one-day boycott is not going to change the system, but if we take what worked and improve on what didn't, and we keep pushing, that's where the real change happens. I don't know, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Were y'all here for it? Were you against it? And where do you think we go from here? I think it's important to be united when these types of things happen. And, you know, we're not going to get everything perfect, but I think acknowledging that there's an issue and acknowledging that we do have power, that's the first step. Thanks for tapping in. I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, have a good one.